I'll save that, bro. We can watch that another time, but let's check out this useless information though. This is another video from InControlAgain. I haven't watched one in a minute, but you know, I decided to check this one out. 20 minutes of useless information about GTA 5. I watched the 15-minute one. I meant to go back and watch the 10-minute one, but I didn't. So yeah, let's check this out though.
For whatever godforsaken reason, you guys absolutely love useless information. So in this video,
Yes.
I'm going to once again haunt your YouTube recommendations and show you 20 minutes of useless information about GTA 5,
Let's go.
which you'll most definitely 100% forget about as soon as you click off this video.
Probably.
Ready? Let's go. Throughout GTA 5's lifetime, there has been many videos about the supposed monsters inside the sewers of Los Santos. There's a myth that mentions a mysterious creature called the Ratman that often wanders these dark and gloomy tunnels, waiting for an unsuspecting victim to wander in. Obviously, all of these myths and videos are fake, as none of these monsters have ever been proven to exist. However, there is quite a weird audio clip in the game files called Sewergator, which can actually be heard at these particular locations in the tunnels. Have a listen for yourself.
I never heard that.
This sound indicates that there could be something hiding in these tunnels, whether that be alligators or something more sinister. That's up for you to decide. In GTA Online, there are 9 contact missions that were removed from the jobs menu back in 2014. However, it's still possible to play these missions. The only way that you can get them is to look for an old playlist that was made by another player back in 2014 that contains one of these rare jobs, which, as you can probably guess, is extremely uncommon. I've managed to find a couple of these playlists online, so if you're interested, I'll leave the links to them in the description below.
Facts, bro. I need that, man.
About you, but playing these missions really brings me back to the simpler times of GTA. There's an unused Frogger livery in the game that has the word FIB written on either side of it. On the last generation versions of GTA 5, it was actually possible to completely destroy and stop the train in its tracks. All you had to do was put a couple of sticky bombs on the front of the train, and then detonate them. This glitch was unfortunately removed after the next generation versions of the game came out.
Oh, see, that's why I never heard about that.
Hats on, because we're going to delve into one of the many conspiracies surrounding GTA 5. The conspiracy we're going to be focusing on today revolves around the mysterious ending of the Doomsday Heist. Just a little disclaimer, this part is going to have some big spoilers.
I was about to say, I haven't played the Doomsday Heist, but honestly, I don't care anymore.
The ending of the Doomsday Heist spoiled for you, skip ahead to this time in the video. In the finale of the Doomsday Heist, Clifford, the super smart AI, and Avon, the billionaire tech mogul, betray you, and they both try to destroy the world with a nuclear warhead. The protagonist, which is you, has to storm their missile base and take them both out before they can destroy the world. During the raid, you eradicate all files of Clifford, essentially killing him. The last and only trace of Clifford left is around Avon's neck in the form of a storage drive. This is proven by this voice line from Avon.
Well, you didn't kill all of them. I got the original code right here, and you're not getting it. Clifford will live again.
After a very intense airborne battle with jetpacks and attack helicopters, you eventually take out Avon and watch as he plummets into the water below. After this victory, you make your way to the observatory to claim your hard-earned reward. Upon arriving there, however, there's this very odd voice line from Lester.
There'll be a copy of Clifford somewhere, right? Or a beta, repackaged, stripped for assets. He'll come back. But we did good today.
Oh.
I don't know about you, but I think he's definitely implying something here. This is reinforced by this other line of dialogue from him that plays after you complete the heist.
The agents went over the wreckage. Avon was incinerated. All that was left of him was his hair plugs. No trace of Clifford, though, so either you disintegrated him too, or he's out there somewhere, just waiting.
So there was no trace of Clifford on the corpse of...
So you're looking to make music?
That's not weird at
Soundtrap
all.
is the perfect tool for you. Today I'm going to show you how to tune your vocals using
Avon. This could mean that he either got completely destroyed in the wreckage, or the drive got launched somewhere during Avon's death. If that's the case, the drive could still be intact. And if that's the case, it's entirely possible that someone could find the drive. It's also possible that the previously said person could plug the drive into a computer, and thus revive Clifford. Who that someone could be, or what could happen from there, is really anyone's guess. Rockstar have also been dropping some pretty major hints and references to Clifford in other updates too. such as the very well hidden Arena War murals, which seem to match up perfectly to some of the murals found in Avon's missile silo. There's also a prep mission as part of the casino heist, which has you stealing drills from a small army of Avon clones, proving that some of Avon's clones are still in operation. And lastly, there's one more Easter egg that has recently been discovered as part of the Los Santos Tuners update. It can be found during the IAA contract. If you go up these stairs and look through this locked door, you can find a seemingly deceased Avon Juggernaut laying on his table.
Oh,
In
wow.
conclusion, with all of these random hints and Easter eggs that Rockstar are giving to us, I think it could potentially be possible that we would see a Doomsday Part 2 at some point, as it really does seem like they're hinting towards it.
I wouldn't be
I personally
surprised,
think
especially
it would be
since this month is Heist Month. They could bring that back as the next DLC.
absolutely awesome if they did this. There are certain props in GTA that for whatever reason change some of their properties depending on how many players are near them. For example, if I drive into this green bus stop, you can see that the glass and benches break, but no matter how hard I try, the bus stop itself won't move. However, if I pick my friend up and try this again, you can see that the whole bus stop actually falls over, which quite clearly isn't supposed to happen. The same thing happens to these fruit stands that you can sometimes find out in the desert. With one person, it doesn't move, but with two people, it can move and glitch out quite a bit.
Wow.
This definitely has some pretty good glitch potential.
I never noticed that.
Using mods, it's actually possible to reach the N icon on your minimap. To reach it, you'll need to face north and go 58,000 feet out to sea. Unfortunately, nothing interesting can be found here.
Dang.
Most of the green fences that surround most of the tennis courts in the game are able to be shot through. This could give you a very slight combat advantage whenever you're around one
That's
of these
kinda hard.
tennis courts. If you and another player are both CEOs, when you kill each other, you'll get a scorecard that pops up which notifies you on the scores. On
Yes.
some very rare occasions, this scorecard will glitch out, and it will show this weird rainbow texture in the place of your opponent's head. When driving any car, if you hold the character
Never
selection
seen that.
button, pick either Franklin, Michael, or Trevor, and then back out, your car will stop instantaneously.
Oh, I knew about
no
that.
matter how fast you're going. I'm very sorry in advance.
I've seen
for
that
this
before.
one, but if you look at the GTA 5 map very closely, you should start to see that it looks a little bit sus. At exactly 9 PM, all of these lifeguards on the beach will close all of their shutters, all except for this one here. For some odd reason, the shutters on this hut disappear when it goes past 9 PM. This particular security booth at the airport is quite different from all the others. At a glance, it looks like this booth is completely inaccessible, as there is no doors to enter it. However, for some odd reason, there's an open window on the side of it that you can quite easily jump through. Most people probably won't notice the open window and will be quite confused on how you got in here. You can even survive a 5-star wanted level in here. GTA 5 is well known for being pretty rough around the edges, with its confusing roads, odd architecture, and countless glitches. However, this building right here is probably the most messed up building I've ever seen. First of all, at nighttime, some parts of this building will have this very weird and out of place texture put on it, such as this orange one, this white one, and this black one. All of the ladders on this building are broken too. This ladder here just doesn't work at all. The ladder above it works, but it won't actually let you climb up. The ladder on the other side of the building will let you climb up, but it phases you through this sign. The sign which is magically floating in the air, as so are the lights that illuminate the sign.
Dude,
and to top it off, at the bottom of this building, you can find some oversized mutant
Oh my
cockroaches. It's fair to
goodness.
say that this building was somewhat rushed during development. If you've used director mode before, you would know that you can play as pretty much any character or animal you want. But have you ever noticed that you can't play as any aquatic animals? You can play as them in story mode if you eat an underwater peyote, so why they're not included in director mode is beyond me. If we use mods to go to the casting trailer, we can see that on the right hand side there's what looks to be a massive aquarium. This was most likely going to be used for selecting which aquatic animal you wanted to play as, but evidently it got completely scrapped. At this location on the beach, you can find a rainbow umbrella that has some pretty strange physics. Hitting it with a car will cause the umbrella to float just above the ground. Once it's like this, it will be completely impossible to knock the umbrella over. Just outside of the casino, you can find this small sliver of grass that has no collision. Walking over it can sometimes cause your character to fall over in a pretty overdramatic way. However, if you drive a motorbike over this grass, for whatever reason, you will almost instantly die. There's a very weird glitch in the game that will cause some male cops to have the voice of a female.
Aren't you just a great example to us all?
I'm gonna smash into your stupid
Oh wow.
I've got insane core strength, by the way.
As you
Never
probably
noticed
know,
that.
GTA 5 is filled to the brim with Easter eggs. However,
Yes.
none of them are quite as complicated as the one I'm going to show you now. This is the Bigfoot vs Beast Easter egg. Before we even begin, you'll need to first gain 100% completion on GTA 5 and eat all 27 of the peyotes found around the map. Once you've done that, you'll need to eat 7 golden peyotes, which can be found at these locations. They will only spawn between the times of 5:30 and 8 AM, whilst it's foggy or snowy. Just as a little tip, I would recommend using cheats to change the weather. Each of the 7 peyotes will correspond to the 7 days of the week, which are all labelled now. You will first need to eat the Sunday peyote on a Sunday, the Monday peyote on a Monday, the Tuesday peyote on a Tuesday. I think you get it by now. This repeats all the way to Saturday. If you miss a day, then
This is a whole thing, bruh.
Lineup from Papa John's.
I'm just gonna leave these here. You can watch them, right? You seem trustworthy.
you will need to try again from Sunday. Every time you eat one of these peyotes, you will turn into Bigfoot. When this happens, you will need to look for something that was left behind by the beast. This will either be dead animals, dead people, or wrecked vehicles. You will need to find something like this before moving on to the next peyote. If you think doing all of that was laborious, just wait for this next part. As soon as you eat the Saturday peyote, you'll be thrusted into a very boring and slow game of cat and mouse. Whenever you make a groaning sound as Bigfoot, the beast will groan back. The noise will lead you to either a dead animal, a dead NPC, or a wrecked car. Once you see this, you'll hear a new noise which you will once again need to follow. This cycle can continue for a whole hour. You will find yourself constantly going back and forth around the desert, backtracking to places you've already been before. After aimlessly wandering around San Andreas for a while, you should eventually hear the beast's roar coming from the boneyard. This will be the final resting place for either you or the beast. All of this build up, all of these boring and dull tasks has led up to this point right here. It's time for the most epic battle in GTA 5's history.
Oh! Weave. Mink. Oh.
Man, they really need to update the fistfights in this game.
They do.
It's actually incredibly difficult to fistfight the beast one-on-one, especially as invincibility doesn't seem to work. So just stand somewhere high up, spawn in some weaponry and shoot him. Alternatively, you can spawn in a car and run him over until he dies. After you slay the beast, the hallucination will end and your torment will finally be over. So what's your reward for doing all of this? You will unlock the option to play as the beast in director mode. I guess it's
that's
pretty cool,
hard.
but it's kind of underwhelming considering what we've just been through. Overall, it's
Seriously,
a cool,
I'm not
very
doing that,
difficult Easter
but
egg with a half decent reward at the end.
pretty sick though.
I hope you know how to swim, because if you're ever caught out in the ocean, you can't rely on lifebuoys to save you, as they'll just sink right to the bottom. The lead graphic designer for GTA 5 used to have a lot of really interesting beta and behind the scenes images on his website, the most interesting of which are these old background images that were used for the pause menu. I think that this would have suited the game really well. It's a shame that it didn't get included in the final release. At this
You should sell those as
location at nighttime,
NFTs.
You can find a weird golden tree that glows for no apparent reason. I had no clue that this was a thing before I read about it, but it's actually possible to see a solar eclipse. GTA 5 has a strangely complex lunar cycle. Because of this, there are multiple lunar events that can happen in different parts of the sky, which are all equally extremely rare to see. This is some very good attention to detail from Rockstar.
That is
Some
crazy.
of the soundtracks in the Doomsday heist and the Cayo Perico heist are remixes and have leitmotifs of the original heist songs. I'll be showing a few examples now. The full songs will be in the description.
Oh wow. I feel like the in-game soundtrack is underrated. That's crazy. I really would have never noticed that. That's one of my favorites.
There is a cut award from GTA Online that was hilariously only obtainable by killing a cheater. It's unknown
Oh,
what
wow.
actions you'll need to do to be classified as a cheater, but nevertheless, the idea of loads of players all teaming up against cheaters to get this award is pretty funny to me. Within the files, the Oppressor Mark I is sometimes referred to as the Street Hawk. This is a reference to the 1985 show called Street Hawk. There's a motorbike in this show that looks almost identical to the Oppressor Mark I, which shows that a Rockstar took some pretty heavy inspiration from this show.
That's
if
hard.
you shoot any weapon while inside of a small closed-off interior, you should start to see some clouds of smoke forming around you. With the import-export update, there was a random UFO model that got added, but for whatever reason, this model went unused for 6 years. It has only recently had its first ever appearance as part of the UFO sightings in the Halloween events of 2021.
Oh yeah.
There is a very rare,
I didn't even play for
completely
that,
random
but
glitch that can happen at any time whilst playing GTA Online. This glitch will, without warning, merge your online session into story mode. When this happens, you'll be in a weird state where you can't pull up your phone or interact with anything. The most you can do is pause and walk around. After a few minutes, the game will either crash or you'll get disconnected from the session. It's completely unknown what causes this bug to occur. At this location, you can sometimes find a spray can that, if shot, will spurt out different colours of spray paint.
that's
If you
sick.
put a crew logo on a Oppressor Mark II and then kick it over, it will cause the logo to slightly move up and down. According to the GTA Myths wiki, some people think that this particular NPC in the casino is a reference to the well-known and famous rapper Kanye West. I can see where they're coming from, but I highly doubt that the resemblance was intentional in any way. In the story,
I see it, but that's kind of weird.
Franklin has to climb on top of this van to
They should actually get
access to
Kanye in
Michael's
GTA
house
though.
via an open window. Originally, Franklin was supposed to climb these vines up to the open window. This is proved by this cut climbing animation that Franklin would have used. Just like most other cut things in this game, it's unknown why this was removed. In some places of the map, it's possible to find a pool table and an air hockey table. It's likely that air hockey and pool were supposed to be minigames that you could play, as there is a model of a hockey puck, a hockey paddle, and a pool rack, as well as a few sound effects for both of these games.
Oh
I would
wow.
have loved to play pool against other players. It's such a shame that these games didn't get included.
Well, that would have been
Back
pretty
in
cool.
2008, there was a viral GTA 4 video called Scooter Brothers. Because of this video's popularity,
I remember
Rockstar
that.
made a reference to it in GTA 5 using Trevor. I think it's pretty cool
Yeah.
that Rockstar took the time to add this in.
We are Scooter Brothers! Scooter Brothers!
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
On scooters!
We are Scooter Brothers! Scooter Brother!
I remember that, dude.
Hey, Scooter Brother!
During the lead up of GTA 5's release, Rockstar showed off a lot of screenshots to promote the game. Some of these images show beta and removed content.
It doesn't matter where you take your first bite. You know
That sandwich low-key look good though.
Try the
I'm not
KFC
gonna lie.
sandwich today.
It definitely does. Imagine skating out there, dude.
And some even have little mistakes in them, such as the XYZ axis being shown, and large portions of the map not being loaded in. It's possible to make your own makeshift airstrike with just a homing launcher and a flare gun. First of all, you'll need to go into first person and aim your homing launcher up in the air. You will now need to, very quickly, shoot. Select a throwable, and then select your flare gun and fire it. If done correctly, the homing launcher should follow the flare and destroy anything that's near it. This can be a little bit difficult to pull off at first, but once you get used to it, you can make some pretty insane plays with it.
That's
In
hard.
the second setup of the prison contract, you have to infiltrate a movie set and steal a trailer. In this movie set, you can find this particular NPC, which has a striking resemblance to the Terminator. This NPC will shoot you with a sawed-off shotgun if provoked, and he has a stupid amount of health, making him very difficult to kill. One of the locations of this movie set can be found in the storm drain. This set will have a few trucks and motorbikes, which is also a reference to the famous Terminator 2 storm drain scene. If you purchase
that's pretty
every
sick. I don't
available
remember that.
property in the game, you will have a maximum of 253 garage spots for your personal vehicles. At this location, you can find a billboard that has the word temp written all over it. I'm assuming that temp is short for temporary, and Rockstar forgot to put a texture over it during development. It's possible to make your character run ever so slightly faster than they normally can. To do this, you'll need to get yourself into a combat stance. This can be done by shooting a weapon or by having the police come after you. When you start running, you'll need to continuously equip and unequip one of your pistols. Once again, it is
Oh,
very
wow.
slight, but with a long enough distance, it becomes very noticeable. At this
That's
location, there is a
crazy.
big TV sign that can quite easily be jumped through. There is also
I
a
remember
very
that.
similar sign to this near the airport that for whatever reason cannot be jumped through. Around 2016,
Dude.
there was some sort of design document that got leaked. This document contained a lot of really cool information about the scrapped story mode DLCs. All of this information comes from these legends on the GTA forums and on Twitter. Huge credit to them for finding all of this out. There was originally going to be 3 paid DLCs for story mode. The first DLC revolved around Trevor becoming an agent for the IAA. From what we know,
No
this DLC
way.
was going to have 19 missions, one of which mentions a casino robbery, and another mentions a submarine raid. It's likely that these missions
Wow.
were scrapped and reworked into the online DLCs instead. The second DLC
That's
revolves
crazy.
around Franklin and alien invasions. Not too much is really known about this, but apparently in this DLC, Mount Chiliad was going to break open, revealing thousands of aliens which would attack the entirety of Los Santos. Fragments of this DLC can be seen in GTA Online, like the alien survivals and this floor design
true.
image of aliens breaking out of some sort of hole. The third DLC revolves around Michael and the zombie apocalypse. The missions were most likely about finding other survivors and protecting Michael's family. Once again, some fragments of this DLC can be found in online, like the
Yeah.
armoured boxfill, which looks like something
Makes sense.
straight out of a zombie movie. And the
KFC
apocalyptic
Pro
looking
Master
outfits.
Gamer. Thank you for the follow,
Well,
bruh.
that's the end
W
of the video.
timing too.
I
We
hope
just
you
saw the
enjoyed
sandwich.
listening to those
That's
completely
funny.
useless facts about GTA 5.
Bro,
If you know
every
of
time
any
I
more
watch
useless
these, my
facts,
mind is
then please let
blown.
us know in the comments. I'll make
Literally.
sure to pin the most useless one. Anyway, I think I've wasted enough of your time. I'll see you later.
Every single time, dude. My mind is just blown. It's crazy how much like just random stuff is in the game and got taken out of the game, and it's crazy, bro. Rockstar's honestly so cool when they're doing like good things, you know, when they're listening to their fans, when they're, you know, stuff like that. They're cool then, but not always. And we know that, but it's okay, you know? You can't win at everything. You really can't.